Hey, everybody, welcome to Three Fat Truckers. We're your hosts. I'm Bill.
And this is Dave.
This is Malia.
And Steve.
Yeah, we're happy to be here, folks. Episode 67 recorded on September 7th. September 7th.
Cut.
Now deal with your shirt
Yeah,
off.
2024. Show notes are linked in the description. We're back. It's only been a week. It feels like 2 weeks. I don't know why.
Need to learn how to count. Man, you need to work on that.
It's the magic of the internet, Bill.
I think time, like with the exception of the
right
shows, time feels like it flies by, but it feels like a long time in between the shows. Enough to where I've got to have the website up in front of me so I don't say the wrong episode number when we get started. So
Wow.
Well, the last time you got on number 24 for some reason, but that was a year.
I've screwed it up before.
So
It's
I think it's still 24, isn't it?
Just throwing random
welcome,
numbers out
everyone.
How are you all doing today?
man,
Has it
I've
been
been
one of those
local.
weeks?
I've been local the last 2 weeks, and I
Your
gotta
wife
tell
pregnant or something? Getting ready to have a baby? You got to be around or what?
No, well, okay. So it started off, of course, with, I guess I don't mind talking about this. The wife wanted me around a little bit more because her mom, as many would be aware, passed away a few weeks ago, and it's been kind of hard on her. And and I asked her, I'm like, well, if it's just me coming home just in time to get in bed, is that still worthwhile to you? Because that's questionable to me. And for right now, that's where we're at. But the other reason is because I need to start getting some exercise and losing some weight and try to get rid of this sleep apnea. It's starting
For
to
a walk.
negatively. Well, I bought a
It's hard on
machine.
joints.
Impact your life?
Yeah, it's been kind of bad. So, yeah, I'm on.
Alcohol usually cures that drinking problem.
I drink alcohol and it shoots my blood sugar up. So, I mean,
Yeah, but you pass out and you
drinking?
sleep good.
Yeah, those cider beers do that to me. I'll get real sick before I even leave.
I don't drink beer at all, and it don't shoot my sugar.
No, I've been switching over to just straight bourbon, but
There you go.
that
Get on the
gets
bandwagon, buddy.
expensive.
Didn't you see what I posted this week?
Oh yeah.
About the tear in your eye because the glass was empty? And then a true bourbon drinker never lets his glass get empty.
And I do love bourbon, but I like good bourbon, and good bourbon is slightly more expensive than a.
I will introduce you to the ones that are good that aren't as expensive.
Well,
Yeah,
they just had a whole bunch they found they're getting ready to destroy, which is going to
They
break.
ain't destroying
Steve's heart.
shit. That's a bullshit story. It's
See,
just
there's the
you
shit
think
people
cops
say.
burn all the
Fake
weed up they
news.
catch. Them cops are taking that shit home.
I can promise
believe
you that bourbon is not going to leave.
There's a
this earth.
bourbon event coming up actually at McMillan Health here in Fort Wayne, October.
No bullshit.
They do. They
McMillan
have
Health.
no bullshit. They have a bourbon event. I'll send it to you guys in text.
They're
later.
wanting you to get pickled.
It's,
So McMillan
yeah,
Health.
so yeah.
That's interesting because that
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
of you that are not aware, we've got this facility in Fort Wayne where it's mostly kids on field trips go and they learn all kinds of stuff. It's like, I don't know if museum's the right word, but it's like a learning experience type place for health.
Hands-on
and that.
kind of deal.
Yeah, and it's interesting that tells
Yeah,
me
it's the
that
third annual Bourbon and Bingo event, Saturday,
Hey.
October 12th.
You're not
At
playing
Parkview.
bingo if you're drinking
Well,
bourbon.
it's
I-
on the
I
other
would
side of
try.
the world for Bill. It's out north, so he won't make it.
it's definitely
Yeah.
not out north. It's out by Southtown Mall, or at least it used
If
to
he's
be.
got to get out of Waynedale, it ain't
I
happening.
know it might as well be in.
And again, for those of you that don't know, Waynedale is a part of town that's like sort of.
It's on the wrong side of the tracks, isn't it, Dave?
Suburb of Fort Wayne.
Well, he looks out his back door, he's looking at the tracks.
It's sort of Waynedale's one of those places that's interesting because it's got this, for the people that have lived here all of our lives, it's got this sort of small town kind of thing, but it
Yeah.
is actually part of Fort Wayne. And
They have the
in
best bakery.
fact, when I was growing up, the old
Not
folks
no more.
around here used to say, "Are
That's
you
fine.
going into Fort Wayne?" What's that?
Wayndale
bakery's
Bakery.
gone?
Yeah, it just closed again.
Again.
People go in
Well,
there.
they sold it, and then they must have not been able to run it.
Yeah,
I guess.
I've seen it change
That's
hands.
crazy.
It's because Bill
times.
bought a elliptical machine and won't eat damn donuts no more.
They used to make
Eyes.
cookies in there that were just
Eyes. Oh God.
fantastic.
You used to get their cakes at DuPont Hospital after you had a baby.
Yes.
Well, they used to ship that stuff all over town to all the stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking the other day about cookies. Man, you can't get a good Archway cookie, but yeah, if like Bill said, if
We went looking
lived
on
next-
Amazon, and by golly, they got them.
they're
on
all
there.
over Amazon. And then if you drive
make
out
them
there
in Fort
next to
Wayne,
the
you can't get
airport,
'em,
you
huh?
can go right in the factory and buy them.
See,
Are
what I
the red box
remember-
cookies or
Yeah.
yeah,
Archway,
can't you get them at the store at Christmas time?
I'll
Well,
tell
yeah.
you what.
Yeah.
What I remember is right there at the airport, we used to haul semi loads of them Gaylord boxes of scrap cookies to the hog farms in the area that would buy a whole load by the tonnage and feed them to their pigs.
Wow.
And you talk about buying some ham in the area that was pretty sweet.
Sugar coated ham.
And the only thing that was
Tastes
wrong
like
with
chocolate
most of those cookies were that they were broke. They came off the line
Broken or crumb, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they used to right there. They used to have a thrift store at the
They still do.
facility. You used to be able to walk in there and buy them.
They
I just
still
drove
do.
by
I think
today.
they've got funny hours though.
Well,
And-
it's not there no more because that's where they unload the bulkers on the side of the building right there. That door where that thrift shop used to be. I'm talking about it was back in the early '80s, probably.
I thought it
remember
was
going
still
in
there. I heard it was still there. You could buy.
I don't think so. If
Maybe
it is,
they
you go
maybe
check
they
it out
moved
and buy
it.
me
I mean,
some,
it's
would
worth
you?
checking out. I
Mail them
think.
to me.
Well, you live like
The
5 minutes
molasses,
from there, Bill.
molasses, and the raspberry fill center ones,
Yeah, you can get them. You can get those all
Those are
on
the good
or the lemon.
all on.
Well,
Amazon.
my mom worked there for about 15 years, and
Oh, did
she
she?
used to back in the 90s, and she'd bring home what was kind of like the raspberry filled, but they had apple cinnamon filling in it, and it was a little bit different
That sounds
recipe for
good.
the cookie.
I wonder if they
it was
were seasonal.
fantastic. I don't
Yeah,
remember
probably.
ever seeing them in the store. I think they made them as either a promotional thing or it went with something else. I don't know.
Well, every Christmas they have them out north at Durrell.
Yeah,
what's
that's what
the name of
I
that
was thinking
stupid
of.
store out there.
Well, Dave, I'll send you pictures Sunday. I bought a 12-pound
I
brisket.
don't know the name of
putting
it.
on
Right by
tonight.
Chuck E. Cheese or whatever.
Yeah, why am I drawing a blank?
Oh, you're
I
talking
can't-
about the Christmas thing. The
Yeah.
starts with a D.
We all figured that much out.
Darlington.
I
or
am
something.
Darlington
There
Farms.
you go.
Yep.
Yeah, they have them there.
Got it. See, I'm not blonde all the time. Just
No, but we are. We're old and senile.
I had I will be a good gentleman and not go there. I could get
right.
jabs in at you.
Set myself up for that one, probably.
Well, since we're on a good setup, why don't we start off with a little bit of news, and then we can jump into Steve's story there real quick. And let's start off with the beginning of the year, the time of season it is again, which all us truck drivers actually just love this time of season. What time of season is it, Malia?
Back to school season. So
I was
it's
gonna
time
say-
to watch out for those buses, guys. It's back
Yeah.
to school time. They're on the roads again.
I was going to say pumpkin spice for the white girls, but
Oh, you know, I'm not into all that pumpkin spice. Like, I no.
Skinny
Nobody
Mookie
I mean,
is.
when I
Lots of
used
spice.
to be a cocktail waitress, I actually used to wear pumpkin spice because it raises your tips. So, ladies out there, if you're
You say
listening,
tips?
yeah, you're.
I wasn't going to do it, Steve. I wasn't going to do
You know
it.
damn well I'm gonna.
Tips, TIPS.
The other one raised your tips too.
Yeah, so I would wear it because it would. And then
I
if you
wondered
work
why I
in,
always got a chub when I smelled pumpkin spice.
I don't know,
Oh.
it's supposed to do something, trigger something in guys, so they
It
tip
does.
more. And so yeah, I would when I was a cocktail waitress, I would wear that, and I'd
I
make good money.
May or
So
may
I
not
can't-
be drinking a pumpkin spice
Right now, it does look kind
They
of
made a
creamy.
trip
There.
out to Dunkin' Donuts early, didn't they?
It's oat milk, so there's no lactose.
Oh,
So
no.
you are drinking oatmeal. It's easier just to eat it.
Oat milk.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Did I
And
ever
that,
send
see,
you
don't
that
do
thing
it.
how
Don't
they
do it.
milk
Don't do it.
almonds, Dave?
Don't do it. Don't
Dave,
do
did
it.
I send you that little video how they milk almonds?
I don't know, but I can't find the udders.
Couldn't stop him. I couldn't
Watching
stop him,
milk goats
folks.
too, huh?
I couldn't stop him.
You had to
Well, go
walk
ahead,
and
Malia. We won't
restriction.
interrupt you anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. School bus driver faces 60 charges, included impaired commercial vehicle driving and child endangerment. This was published on September 5th, 2024 by Ashley. No last name for Ashley. North Carolina police issued dozens of charges to a school bus driver believed to have been operating while impaired. School bus driver Lauren Coble, 45, has been charged with 53 counts of misdemeanor child endangerment as well as 7 traffic charges, included impaired driving in a commercial vehicle, according to a September 5th announcement from the city officials in Creedmoor, sorry about that, North Carolina. On August 29th, 2024, members of the Granville County Public School Administration Office contacted the Creedmoor Police Department regarding a school bus being operated erratically during its morning route.
By the way, this was CDL
when they
Live.
interviewed her. She said, "Have you ever tried driving sober with all these damn kids?"
Did she really?
She's got a
I
stick
wish
with
I
a hand on
watched
it so she can reach behind her and smack them as she's going.
My grandma had a fly swatter she would hit us with.
My aunt had
Yeah,
a
it's
slipper
funny.
she
I
could
don't
hit.
see CDL Life on here
That's
anywhere.
because I forgot to put it up there.
Ah, very important.
You know, everything he gets is from CDL Live.
That's right, because that's
Is
who
it?
sends me all this
Yeah,
stuff.
but we gotta know to
And
say it.
just
Though.
say CDL Life.
All right, Dave, put it in there.
I'm doing it as we speak.
Put it right above the Ashley.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not the
do
boss
it.
of me.
Do it, and let me see you do it.
And like it.
Yeah, school buses. There was not long ago, not far from Fort Wayne, there was a very tragic incident where a young woman in her early 20s went around a school bus and killed.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that out there.
Yeah,
on
killed
three,
a
yeah.
sister and little brother, and it was horrible. And I think she did a little bit of time for that. But
I-
that's,
A little bit.
Well, I think she had a lot of time for it. Well, I wouldn't doubt
Yeah.
she's still there, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Yeah,
It's
it was
amazing
terrible.
how people think they're so impatient. Can't wait that extra
Well,
minute and a half.
I live on a corner that's so busy. It's in a neighborhood that you wouldn't think the traffic would be so busy. And I'm out here a lot in the morning just to kind of help with keep eye on kids because they cross without looking, and things like this. It's buses.
Do you have
it's
one of them
cars.
orange like safety guard straps and the sign?
No, but I need one. I think I would get one.
I will get you one off Amazon.
Yeah,
send it to you.
flag. What is it?
With your
Safety
name on the
patrol or
back.
something? No,
Cross them. No, I better not say.
Can I hand out tickets too for jaywalking and
Just to Dave.
tell them to take them home like paying? Well, I can't tell kids to paint candy.
When Dave comes flying through in his golf cart, flatten the tire and tell him to get off the road.
I'll do it, Dave.
I'm way ahead of you.
No, 'cause
What
I
you
don't
doing?
They
see
try
it.
to get it in there.
Oh,
There.
there it is.
Somebody's adding words to my screen.
Yeah. I did
Wait
it.
till I get to the next
I could see the gears turning on Dave's. Let me go ahead and change the size of it.
Oh, no.
You can just
Anyway.
change the size just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All guys wish they could.
Well, what I
Yeah.
put on here is a little lengthy, but I ain't.
Yeah,
I,
need
I,
to
I won't
from.
read all of it, maybe. But
Oh, your story, yeah.
You're signed into the 3FT accounts, Dave.
Yeah, I know on that computer I am. On this one, I'm not.
3FT. It sounds like swear word or something. Did you make up your own cuss word?
I did. Everybody enjoying their coffee this morning?
Oh, yeah.
I am. You want one?
Can we get a cheers?
Cheers.
Yeah.
I call this the white woman because it's my own recipe.
The white woman.
Because
Is it white
nobody's,
chocolate mocha?
nobody's all the way white. We're all kind of a shade
No, we're
of,
peach.
we're
Like,
kind of a shade of wheat.
I always
everybody.
grabbed like that peach crayon or whatever when I was coloring myself as a kid. I never really put a little white in it, because we're not white. It's like,
Yep. All right. So what do we got next?
I'm sure. I know you guys have. I mean, and lots of drivers have seen these. Across the eastern part of the country, you see 3 crosses, and you'll look up and they'll be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And have you ever wondered yourself, why are those there? Who put them there? Well, I did because I knew a gentleman that had these in his yard, and I stopped and talked to him last time I was back home and got the story on it a little bit, and I decided to write a little thing about it. So here we go. Did you ever wonder how many drivers out there have seen these three crosses along the roadways in your travels across the eastern half of the country and wondered what and why these crosses are standing along the roadways? I myself wondered. And on a small road, State Route 301 at Veracruz, Indiana, I asked the owner of the farm ground where a set was erected many years ago if he and his wife could tell me the story of how and who put the crosses up. They were more than glad to share the story and give me some literature that was given to them when the crosses were erected. I did some more research on the web, and this is what I found, people. I think we got a picture of the crosses there. And those there are, it tells me where they're at.
West Virginia. Oh, never mind. Those ones aren't.
Well, every few miles, this would seem traveling through West Virginia, they're everywhere. Well, that's because they are. There's a set of these crosses in every county in West Virginia. Every few miles, groups of three crosses stand like sentinels along its roadway. A high gold cross flanked by two smaller light blue crosses. Most travelers recognize them as monuments to crucifixion of Jesus and a central event in Christianity. But have you ever wondered why these crosses, where they came from, and why they were raised, and who's responsible? A gentleman named Bernard Coffindaffer, a Marine veteran and native of Craigsville, West Virginia, was the man behind the crosses. It was his desire to remind people that Jesus had been crucified and to forgive them for their sins, and he'd be coming back again. And I'm not going to go through everything I got here, but he made his fortune in a coal washing business. After undergoing two heart bypass operations, he liquidated all his businesses. 2 years later, he had a vision that sparked the building of the group of crosses and spent the remainder of his life and money erecting 1,864 sets in 29 states and in the District of Columbia, in Zambia, and the Philippines. Landowners donated the sites and he funded the construction. West Virginia was the home to 352 sets of crosses, more than any other state.
Are they more
he ended
centers,
up passing
or-
away. He spent over $3 million of his own money. before he
Followed up by
passed.
Florida. He liked being in Florida.
And
Or this in-state, too.
there's a lady named Sarah Stevenson Abram. She's a co-founder of the executive director of Crosses Across America. It's a nonprofit organization. And they took over where he left off, and the headquarters is in Vicksburg, Mississippi. They started it in 1999. But the organization hopes to get crosses every 50 miles along both sides of the 45,000 miles of interstate in the United States, and then proceed to 4-lane highways and then move into Mexico and Canada. New crosses are lighter and made from plastic material and what can withstand winds at 200 miles per hour. The original ones were made out of Douglas fir, weighed about 400 pounds.
Wow.
There's a map and a picture of him. He died at the age of 68 in 1993. But it gives you a map and tells you how many sets of crosses are in each state as of this
That's
time here.
interesting. I didn't know there was that many of them.
Yes.
Lord
I
have
see him
mercy.
all. I
But-
see him all the time. Like Steve
I do
said.
too, but that 352
I've
of them
seen
in
them
West
forever.
Vigor.
Never, it's always like, why is that? I did. I wondered why was it there? Who put them up?
I
Especially
just
after
figured
seeing them
churches did or
everywhere.
something.
Well,
Yeah.
the funny part about it, the truck show in West Virginia brought him to Steve's attention, where the majority of them is.
Yes.
Well, we better take a quick break before we talk about this anymore. When we come back, we'll give you our take. Back to live action.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
But-
Flash,
Yeah,
I'm back.
West Virginia has the most at 352 sets of them, and then Florida's got 225. Like Dave said, he liked going to Florida.
Now, these states
Yeah,
that only have one, I think it's probably even more interesting because what's the
Yeah.
story behind that one?
Well, also, there's another
Got
thing
a lot
I
of
didn't
people out
say.
there.
The names of the towns that they're in usually have something to do with the Bible.
Oh,
name.
nice.
The one I was talking about in Veracruz, Indiana, the word Veracruz means true cross. So every name of each town that they're in is some type of biblical reference. Is where they were
That's
erected.
interesting. So would that
I
explain?
didn't know
the
that
one?
either till the couple that I spoke with was telling me about it.
That is interesting.
And I'd
What was
lived
that,
around
Malia?
that town of Veracruz. I never knew what it's called my whole life.
I said, I
even
wonder
though
if that explains the one in some of these states or the two is because
possibly.
they only had that many
Yeah.
towns or counties or towns. That
Counties,
had-
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
pretty cool.
where is it here? It said he had 352 4. He had
It's
nine
funny.
nine full-time employees that erected the crosses across the country.
We missed the two sinful states, Nevada and California.
They ain't all hell they can get.
We're all naturally born sinners, but I do find it interesting that like they're all on this side of the map. You know, like
Well, yeah,
Well, that's because that's where
It
Jesus
started-
is. But you need to
Well,
understand, Jesus
doesn't
ain't
cross
out
his
west with all
line.
them daggum old woke liberals out there on the west coast.
He's on this side.
Well,
He's
on
over.
Mississippi.
Well, he's
Bible-
okay,
Bible
but he's
Belt.
not all the way to the East Coast either. Zoom in on it, you'll see Jesus left them folks behind. I've been trying to tell you since.
But
oh my.
the story I originally heard from it, and that's
Come
why I
from
wanted
the
to know
Bible.
more. I heard that there was a guy that sold his. I didn't know that he was an orphan at 10 years old and stuff, and put himself through all the school, and was able to make his business, and so he had his money to be able to sell everything and use it. But the first story I heard was that there was this guy, he sold all his stuff, got his calling from God, and started putting up these crosses in every county, in every state, this side of the Mississippi. Well,
Mhm.
there's
That's what
only,
it looks like.
He wandered a little west
Arizona's got 19 in it now. I think most of that out there was done
after he
after
died.
he had passed, because everything he did was this side of the Mississippi.
Okay,
He's-
since we went to the great detail of these three crosses stacked, which I've seen everywhere, who puts up the great big ones that's like in Effingham?
That's
There's one
what
in
the lady
Mississippi.
here that took over for him, the crosses
three
across
in-
America. Yeah.
There's three
Are
in
Indy or down in that Fisher or
The ones that are like 30 stories tall. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
This is the same organization. Let me see at the bottom. I said her
There's
name.
one right
She
there
was,
outside of Jackson, Mississippi, that has the thorn and crown on top of the
Yeah.
cross, too.
I think this is all part of the same organization here. Crosses
Who would have
across
thought
America.
it was all the same? I seriously just thought church, like a church, nearby church, because there's so many churches everywhere.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I guess I thought maybe it was like a church, and then these churches kind of network some of them
Yeah.
that are.
But
Well,
let's
some
see.
of them got to be pretty expensive because them 30-foot ones ain't cheap. You're not building them, So
Wow, I'd rather see those than them dang
Malia,
old
where's your Bible?
windmills. My Bible?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It
right.
says he raised his last set of crosses in '93 in
I always
Ozark,
keep my Bible
Alabama.
close with you, Dave.
Yeah,
So this crosses across America. This lady here, where'd her name go? Sarah Stevenson Abram is the one that, and this is 99. It's been, I don't even know if these people are still there. They still have a website and everything. If you just Google crosses across America, it'll take you to their website, and
I want to share
They
this.
do
later
take
on my
donations and
Facebook page,
stuff,
'cause it's
because they still pay to light them up and stuff too.
45,000 miles of
Interstate. So, anyways, I thought that was interesting.
yeah, good stuff.
Well, it is. I mean, I think
far
that's
as
great.
truck drivers, I mean, you see stuff all like Bill. You see it all the time. And you're like, no, I wonder why is that there.
Mhm.
You know. So-
Why did they nose cars down?
So that's why I titled this bill. Did you ever wonder?
So is this going to be your new bit?
I don't know.
Did you ever wonder?
I think
I
that
did more
would be.
than one, so we'll see.
By golly, we have a name for this show. Did you ever wonder?
You know,
Remind me
I
of
These
that.
idiots are doing.
We're always looking for good names. Did you ever
Yeah.
wonder? Truck drivers, did you ever wonder why you see stuff on the highway? You know, we got rid of all the great roadside stands from back in the 50s and 60s, and now we just have weird stuff that you don't understand.
Oh, I seen a video I wanted to ask you guys about. There's like a drive-through. What is it? A drive-through Sonic for truck drivers?
Yeah, I seen that too.
I heard
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you see it? I was
Yeah, I
like,
seen it. Was it on Facebook or something?
well, I wanted.
Was it something like that?
I don't know. I get sometimes caught up in those. What do you call
Well,
it?
there used to
Reels.
be a drive-through at Arby's in Decatur, Indiana. They had
Yes,
the
there was.
tall. Remember that?
Yeah.
It ain't there. It's not there. It's still there, but it's not usable. It's just tore down. But yeah,
I just thought that drive-through for truckers was
It's also
interesting.
great, but what happens is you get a car drive through there, then it plugs the line up because they can't holler up high enough.
What
Why do they
happens
drive
is
through? They should go in or be denied service like truckers were
Exactly.
during COVID. They'd be like, you're too low.
that might be one thing,
Gotta
but
get
I
high,
have a
high,
feeling
high.
the reason that
back.
somebody would give up on something like that has more to do with Swift getting into the drive-through lane there.
You mean they
And-
need a half-inch plate between the
and
drive-through and the wall?
Yeah, taking the speaker with him as he drives away.
Now, come on. Don't get on
okay,
Swift. Taylor's
driver,
just as
Swift
good.
drivers. I'm sorry, but you're still a good target. If you,
Oh, you're not talking about Taylor Swift. I'm just kidding.
No, she was at the football
Well,
game
I
this
can
week.
see
She's
the
not
girl,
even on the
Dave.
highway.
Listen to the
So
girl
not-
slinging them out there.
giving you gold, folks. We're giving you gold.
Ain't nothing better when you see a Taylor truck passing a Swift. All the girls are lined up behind it.
Oh, that Taylor Swift stuff. That's so old. It's like,
Well,
Guys
she
a
made
fan of
big
hers?
news
You
this
guys a
week.
fan of hers?
Thursday night, she was at the opening football game for the NFL.
Oh, I'm sure
That's all
she
they talked
was.
about. So
I'm sure.
All I kept seeing was memes that said Taylor Swift's got one more visit since 1997, the Super Bowl, than the Cowboys.
I apologize to all our Cowboy fans out there.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
I'm not. I mean,
It's kind of like the New York Jets are right in there with them too. So
No, my Florida State Seminoles they got kicked out of the
playoff.
playoff games last year with a no loss record, and now this year they start off 0-3. I'm like, oh god, and everybody's trash talking that. Oh it's
yeah.
terrible.
Well, that's almost as good as the WNBA. Well, let's go there today.
Oh,
the
Caitlin Clark. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, she's tearing it up, and these people are hating on her. Hating on
And
her.
Great.
the thing is,
Caitlin Clark, you talking
it's
about?
making everybody watch. Would you watch?
Oh,
I
my
wouldn't
gosh.
watch it, but I do now.
I do now.
Oh,
I do.
I'll catch
No, my maiden
Oh,
name's
it's true.
Clark, and I'm kind of hoping she's like a family member or something. I'd be like, yeah,
Uh,
like a long,
but I mean,
maybe
it's pulling
from
people
another
in. I mean,
something.
Well,
there's
and
marketing there. Somebody knows what they're doing.
they're so jealous, but since she started the league, they all get to fly private jet now. All teams, not just her. You know, they say rising tide raises all boats, but man, are they hating on her.
what was that saying?
I
again?
wasn't. Hold on, I was thinking boats.
We need
Airing
to
up
get,
tire raise all low overpass. How's
I
that?
think we might need to get Steve laid. I'm not sure.
Does he have a girlfriend or a wife? Or
Yeah,
No, I
she's
tell
about
you
6
what.
feet underneath of him.
I was like, don't you guys all have those?
6 foot underground. Wasn't that what was it? Chick McGee always
Trying to
said.
make my hand jealous. What?
Chick McGee goes, yeah, we're separated. She's at home right now.
That's every truck driver's story. Yeah, I'm separated. What happened to your wife? I don't know. She's at home.
No, it's the one goes, she's in the bunk. Get in here.
Like Greg, one of our fellow drivers, keeps talking to me. Traction around the truck stop. I go, there ain't been traction around truck stop for 10 years now. Them days are gone.
tell you what, man, I
West
remember-
Memphis is still a little trashy.
Fort Wayne still used to be that way, dude.
Fort Wayne was
Yeah.
notorious.
Well, that's
some of
because we had
that.
a strip play. But you guys are still living in the 90s. Come on. We're almost into
The
the.
90s.
Yeah, well,
listen
are you
listen
talking
to
about
Papal
30?
there, Bill.
We're talking about.
Hey,
Well,
you kids in here, when I was a kid, we used to go and there was phones on the tables and have all this
They had
flippity.
cords too.
Yeah, they had a
That- their
jukebox at every
internet.
table.
Far.
Internets and Tic Tac.
All
Yeah.
them internet
Like watching
pornography.
these kids take pictures of phone booths. It's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen a phone booth before.
No, there was I saw, talking Tic Tac and Facebook. They showed a
Tiki
picture.
Tac.
It said 1990. There's a picture of a phone booth. Then it showed a picture of a toilet and it says phone booth for 2024. Everybody sitting on a shitter on their phone all the time.
That's true. That's
Not
true.
even shitting. You're just sitting there playing games and stuff.
I just seen.
So,
It's in company time.
I just seen.
It is.
some-
Could you add up all the time you get paid to do that? It's
Oh, they've
Well,
had
you don't have to
things-
go outside and smoke no more. You can just sit on the toilet and do it.
Well, they've showed things how much work productivity companies lose people sitting on the toilet on their phone for 20, 30 minutes at a time.
What's going on in there, man? I should have had Mexican because it ain't coming out. Too much fiber.
oh my.
Too much fiber.
You just quickest way to get those guys out of those restrooms, just bang on and be like, Quinning, I'm coming in. and they wrap it up real quick.
You can't get me
They
with that.
leave.
I'd be like, come on in.
Come on in. I'll get my
like,
shoes
oh.
I
wet.
don't, I don't
Ian's
give
gonna come
a shit.
struggling through here. We gotta get out of here. I tell
I
you.
usually don't have trouble with my bucket.
Yeah, I don't either.
You spilled it, didn't you?
And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about with the bucket, I refer you to episode 1 of Three Fat
Episode
Truckers.
1.
So you pee in a bucket, right?
No,
I didn't-
you
We did
shit.
have
hell.
we did have-
Be anywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You know, you guys aren't. That
Yeah,
doesn't
we're
surprise me any. I was in construction for a long time and flooring, and that's what you'd see out back. Is like you go to, you would see buckets around the trash, or everyone.
Better than shitting in a box.
Yeah, they all do it.
Yeah.
They put a little bag over
Got a
it.
handle.
Some of them have had
Yep.
fancy ones with a seat.
Well, see, I want to get some
What
Three
about
Fat Trucker
The
buckets with
noodle
our
and the
face in the
trash
bottom.
bag. And
So
yeah.
you can shit on us.
Yeah.
He wants to get our pictures on a bucket. Yeah.
So what
leave
you
mine
do-
off.
what you
I don't
do-
need people
We're,
doing
we're,
that.
we're gonna tell you how
They
to do
would
the bucket.
post
You
it.
listen. Bill's gonna tell you how you do the bucket, Bill.
Okay, so first off, I want to reiterate. Go back to episode 1, start over again. But you get you get you a 5-gallon bucket, and
Or
I can link
Two
you
and a half
to the.
gallon if you want to set it on the bed so you ain't got to bend over as far for Dave.
Well, for those of us that,
Those
put the
are
bag in
Campbell's or
there.
buckets.
Now you don't want to drop the bag down all the way because you don't want it to like tumble onto the plastic and then it's more of a mess to clean up. I'll get into
Well,
why
that's-
later.
That's why
And
you
then-
put
Tie
the
it.
noodle around it.
Or, yeah.
Okay, but you put the noodle, take one of those pool noodles and cut it to the length, and you cut a slice down the middle.
That's in case you have a dainty buttocks.
That's
and then
right.
Put that.
'Cause that-
I mean, it's all about.
It holds the
comfort
bag for
at
you,
the end
too.
of the day.
And if you want to get real fancy, you go on Amazon. They sell a lid, a toilet seat that hooks onto a bucket.
There is such a thing. Yes.
I was gonna say I would just get
And
and buy.
that's right
maybe
next
to the
toddler's
spam
little
slicer.
portable
That was-
toilet or or they
That
gotta
was
have
also.
adult-sized
But
ones.
see, you've got it when you're pressed for space. You have to have things that are multi-purpose, and the bucket is my trash can and my
Shitter.
facility.
Yes.
So
That bucket was a lifesaver in Texas one time, Bill. I'll tell you.
Well, you use them
Oh.
hunting too and stuff.
Oh
don't you?
no, I was in the middle of nowhere with an oversized load. There was no traffic for hours and
Oversized load
hours
that you
and
had to get
hours.
rid of.
I stopped right on the road, got out, sat on the trailer with the bucket, taking my time. I'm on the road. Here comes a truck coming by after about 10 minutes. He slows down, looks at me. I'm like, yeah. He goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, how's it going?"
he knew what this was.
Oh my! Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I have to pee on the side of off ramp sometimes. It's like you get off the highway. I'll open up both my truck doors so I
You
kind
know
of
they make
create
a
a
funnel for you
barrier.
girls now so you can stand up.
I
want
have one.
one.
I have one. I have one.
You know
But
you
it's
can
just
make
not my-
one out of a milk carton. The handle.
Watch
I guess you
them. Watch them sharp edges, though.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's true.
boy.
They get a little.
Get your pool noodle.
But I've gotten to the point where I would rather, even if I'm at a truck stop or some place, I would rather use my bucket than
More comfortable.
Well,
Well,
I'm in my own space, and
Some of the shitters are not real driver friendly.
they're
And,
well.
Bill likes to be all natural. He takes all his clothes off.
Oh, I'm
Everything.
butthole naked, y'all.
I don't know why
I am-
you take your socks off. Man, you could leave
Really?
them on.
I do leave the socks on, I guess.
That usually stops the juice from getting on the floor.
I
Dave.
thought
So
that
I'm-
stopped after like toddler age. I know my son did that for a while, but that stopped after. Do you still do that, really, or are they just teasing me?
Well,
but
here's the
Take all your
truth, Malia.
clothes
Malia,
because
Malia,
you have to
here's-
be able to sit completely straddled, and you can't
No,
do that with
here-
your
here-
pants
here's
down
the
around your
truth.
ankles.
To take his pants off, he has to take his suspenders off. Take his suspenders off. You have to
You
take
know,
your
I haven't
shirt
worn
off.
those lately.
And
but
so
you're
you
right.
take-
That
that's
was
why
another
you're
reason.
sitting there bone ass naked.
Yeah.
Oh, are
My
we
buddy,
getting
we
into
went
this show? I
snowmobile-
hope.
Things you see along the highway.
Let's poop talk, fellas.
Oh my!
My buddy, we went snowmobiling, and my other buddy's wife's watching him, and he goes, "What is he doing back here?" I said, "He had to stop and take a leak," and he goes, "She takes off his helmet, his gloves, his jacket, his vest."
Wintertime, mind you.
Yeah, we're up there snowmobiling, and my buddy goes, "I thought you had to take a piss," and he goes, "I got 9 inches of clothes and 3 inches of dick. Something's got to give here."
Yeah, this takes time, and I mean the struggle's real because you gotta get to it first, and sometimes you don't get there in time. You gotta factor how much time it's gonna take into the whole thing.
Yeah, and how come I can go all day, but if I'm like 3 minutes from the bathroom and know I'm heading to the bathroom, I can't hold it then. It's like
Because
something in your mind
you're-
just changes
brain.
you.
Your asshole knows how far you are from the toilet,
Yeah.
Exactly how far, and how long it takes to get there.
and it likes
And
to,
it's
geometrically,
it likes to
Russian.
screw with you and say, "Not today, buddy. You ain't gonna make it."
you swear you're gonna blow your back out, and then you sit down and nothing happens. That's
Don't
great.
you remember the one thing? $20 to buy a cork.
I like the better ones is when you rush in there and you sit down and you swear to God you just passed a bowling ball and you get up and it's a
Rabbit fella, yeah.
I don't have that trouble. I like to pinch off a loaf. I ain't gonna lie. That way it's done. It's done for the
you're
You
day.
guys
No,
are
all-
explaining all the toilet issues I see, though. all
Say
the
she,
time.
yeah.
Malia
Right now.
cleans
I see
toilets.
the aftermath.
She's gonna figure out all the guys' poop secrets now.
I know.
What's going
you
on?
guys, you guys
Well,
crazy.
one thing
Like,
I've
like,
never-
rub it.
The guys
Now
that
she's-
go in, they don't make it, and they projectile all over the
all
wall.
over it.
Yeah, how they
All
get the back of the
literally
toilet in
over it.
there.
I think it's the monster drinks.
What do you mean the ceiling?
It is the monster drinks, all that sugar, and then the
Oh.
Because it is. It's terrible. I mean, and I ain't name
I
names.
can't stand to drink that stuff. I tried it.
I
and
can't
just-
either. It's awful for you, but it's crazy popular. So I mean,
Yeah, I think it's that type of stuff. The
I
Add
do want to
drinks.
brag on something that I purchased. I'm getting ready to mess with it this afternoon, and I was on a waiting list.
You don't need to tell
forever.
us when you want to play with it. Just play
No.
with it.
I bought a Ninja
I've done it 4 times since
slushy
we've been on camera.
machine.
wow. I was wondering what was
Slushy
going on with
machine?
your hands there.
Ninja slushy machine.
Okay. That's almost as good as the
It's margaritas tonight, buddy.
margaritas and fajitas off of the flat top.
Some people say
I got
that there's a
chicken chop. Like I said, I
woman to
bought
blame.
a brisket,
But I know.
11-pound brisket.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us
What's
about your
going on
brisket,
tonight?
Steve. God's sake.
I'll let you know after I cook it and eat it.
Well, why don't we save that for the next episode?
Yeah, let's do that.
We better wrap this one up for now. And, yep. And cut. There that is again. We'll be back next week, folks. We had a great time. Until then, I've been Bill.
And your buddy Steve is sitting there watching Malia and Dave's talking. Just
I'm
for-
Malia, guys. I'm Malia.
I'm not Malia. I'm Steve. Everybody have a good week. Be safe out there.
See you, folks.